The caption reads here, Flat Earthers realizing every conspiracy theory is true except theirs. Yep, as they're pretty angry. All of this while, of course, Barack Obama set the internet ablaze with some very interesting alien conversations and topics that have dominated the weekend headlines that I think are worth talking about in an actual real way. There's a lot of disinformation out there. There's a lot of propaganda out there. But this isn't even the craziest statement that Barack Obama has made when it comes to aliens. He made a number of them, as some people are saying, hold on. This could be to potentially promote a new alien movie, or it could be to try to cover up his Secret Service Colombia Cartagena scandal that looks like it's far more deeper and involves the likes of Epstein. What? Huh? What in the world's going on here? We're going to get into this as Zero Hedge is really reporting on some very important, hypercritical stuff surrounding Obama's top legal counsel and the scandal that happened during his administration. So we're going to talk about this bombshell, play the bombshell. There's a reaction to it from the person who interviewed him that I particularly have a lot to say. Many things about it. So of course, the reaction very telling here. The counter signaling very telling here. We'll go over all of that and a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these type of conversations, click subscribe. We definitely greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us here on this brand new YouTube channel that's doing really well. So thank you guys so much for being a part of it and sharing these videos, as the topic of aliens definitely is a very theoretical one, but also it's also one where a lot of top high-ranking government officials are coming on and saying, yeah, they're real. There's something else out there. What is it? We don't know. As a lot of people see the President of the United States as one of the highest representative government bodies out there, when other people are saying, oh, no, there's probably other people above the President of the United States who mainly is kind of a PR central figure, according to some people's kind of assessments of how the world really works here. But again, for just the sake of this conversation, the president is the highest political leader. And the former president, Barack Obama, this weekend, dropped a big extraterrestrial bombshell saying they're real. Yep, the former president of the United States says, yep, aliens are real, as he also criticized Donald Trump for division, which is interesting, especially with all the Netflix specials and shows and propaganda that the Obamas are working on. We'll get into that topic later on. We're going to do a big deep dive here, going into a lot of rabbit holes here, as of course we have now members of Congress literally coming out and saying, yep, aliens exist. They're underwater bases. They're just like flying in and out of water, football-sized craft, in and out. No gravitational resistance at all. Defies the laws of physics and science, and they exist, and they're real. Now, we have a lot of people in Congress making a lot of extraordinary claims. There's also CIA agents making a lot of extraordinary claims, former people at the Pentagon, at the Department of Defense, all of them coming out, Department of War, coming out, and saying, yep, yeah, hey guys, there's an alien. There was even a whole documentary with a bunch of government officials saying, yep, aliens exist. Now, Barack Obama came out and said aliens are real. I responded to it by saying, I'm skeptical now. The CIA doesn't have the best track record. The Pentagon doesn't have the best track record of being honest with the American people. Let's just be real with ourselves here. As this is an interview from the Brian Tyler Cohen show that was released over the weekend that set the internet ablaze. Here's the specific clip in context.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Is that the possibility that he's kind of asserting here? Hey, it's again conspiracy. They're hiding it from the President of the United States. Now, we do know a lot of high-ranking government officials do get classified meetings about these particular topics that they can't talk about, and they always go out, and I hate this because I love information. I want to know as much as I can. Like, oh yeah, we were told in a private meeting something we can't tell you. Okay. What? There's also the UAP phenomenon that happened over the coast of New Jersey and the east coast of the United States. Still hasn't been officially explained legitimately from this administration. The UAPs last year were flying over Denmark. 2 years before that, as soon as Trump got into political office, as soon as he won the presidency, they were over New Jersey. Before that, they were over Japan. Same type of reporting, not drones. UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons that defied our understanding of drones and went over airports, shut down airports, and went after and stood over military bases, specifically a lot of nuclear bases and nuclear reactors. A very important type of facilities a lot of people view as important to national security. Now, the response to this one particular clip was big.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
And it's like, oh, let's move on. What? I'm sorry, Brian, but you should have asked some better questions here. Anyway, we'll get into the movies and some of the other conspiracies, and now Barack Obama backtracking on this. But his other statements here were far bigger and more bombastic than this. They deserve more of our attention. Before playing that and a lot more, we just quickly wanted to tell you about WeAreChange.shop. I created my shop because I really like supplementing. If you buy our bundles, you're guaranteed to get the supplements. We're holding some of them back. A lot of them are sold out and are selling out very quickly. Our #1 bestseller is our Common Sense Creatine from Germany, 2-month supply. You get a big bin of it. It is right over here. It is great. It is incredible. It is awesome, especially for older women. If you have an older woman in your life, look at the science and the data when it comes to that. Do your own homework and research. As of course, a lot of people just go on Amazon and they buy it. As Dan Go on Twitter says, buying supplements off Amazon, as there is, quote, commingled inventory. That means your trusted brand, creatine, could be stored and shipped right next to a counterfeit one, and you wouldn't know the difference. My parents were the victims of this. There's like a supplement that I was taking. I was like, hey, you guys should take it too. They're like, yeah, we took it. We feel horrible from it. I'm like, really? Let me take a look at it. And then I saw it, and it looks almost exactly the same, except for a little small cosmetic difference. And I checked it out, and I checked the Amazon, and I see a negative rating, and I'm like, this says it's from this trusted source. It's not. It's fake, right? And then people feel bad, and they're consuming who knows what. And this is why I was like, I need my own shop. I need my own inventory. I need my own stuff. And I give this to my friends. I give this to a lot of people that are dealing with specific types of problems in their life. More and more people are dealing with problems. Our food is becoming less nutritious. There's less vitamins, there's less minerals in it than there used to be. That's why I think supplementation is key. Our bundles help you save a bunch of money, and you can bundle a whole bunch of supplements and get them. So I think we sold out of the fish oil. We're almost sold out of the vitamin D. We're almost sold out of the creatine, but you can still get them if you get some of the bundles there that we saved just for the people who subscribe and just for the people who do the bundles there. But we still have the ashwagandha in stock. Make sure you take it right. A lot of people take it wrong. Don't take ashwagandha wrong. We still have our magnesium glycinate and our vitamin C, as well as our magnesium mist, which is selling out. Our teas are selling out too. They won't be coming back here. And our Take Calm, which is like the supplement that I have literally at my desk, by my bed, in my car. I love this stuff, and it's super awesome, super great. Check it out. WeAreChange.shop. Support us, support yourself, and be careful of the really sketchy companies out there. Our reputation's on the line. We make sure we got the best stuff out there. WeAreChange.shop is where you get it, and we can't thank you enough for supporting independent media and doing that. Now, let's get back to Brian's interview here, as of course he knows how he's a best-selling author. As the first question here, 5,000 likes, is from Jay Anderson saying, yeah, and then asks 0 follow-up questions from a former president of the United States. Literally told you aliens are real. This is not a flex. This is one of the most epic interview fumbles of all time. Well done. The best part is, quote, when you is even after you try to move along to the next question, he gives you the opportunity to come back to the same point, and you just blow ahead again anyways. quote, just remarkable incompetence. Here's the other
This enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens? Is there a person that you most want to meet that you haven't met yet?
Come on! Softball. Like, what? Like literally, you're supposed to be a journalist? I'm like, how many why did you kill? This is me. I'm interviewing Barack Obama right now. Hey, Barack Obama. How many American citizens did you take out, and why did you decide to extrajudiciously assassinate American citizens? Can we start with that 16-year-old? Why did you drum bomb that 16-year-old and personally sign off on it? Huh? Can we get an answer to that question? Hey, can we get an answer to the Maidan Revolution? Can we get an answer to the 2008 banking crisis? Can we get an answer to Operation Fast and Furious? Can we get that? Hey, what about that guy that says he was in the limousine with you? Huh? Remember that guy? Huh? Who's the? And like you need hard-hitting, pointed questions. Hey, let's talk about the Syrian government overthrow and how ISIS came to prominence under your political leadership because of the failed policies that you implemented. Can we talk about that? Huh? Nope. What's the favorite person you ever wanted to meet? Really? It wasn't an interview, bro. You're like fellatioing him. People are saying no follow-ups. What the F? Are you kidding me? Now, is this because of a movie? As we're getting this from the New York Post, talking about Barack and Michelle Obama are producing a film about Betty and Barney Hill's abduction. All right, so this new feature film is reportedly called White Mountains and will be based on the true story of Barney and Betty Hill, a couple in the 1960s who claimed to have abducted by UFOs. Now, is Barack Obama trying to bring a lot of attention to his movie here? That's also a possibility here, and that's why he's like kind of hinting, pointing, prodding, and like, hey, aliens exist, guys. Now, of course, he went on and then later clarified what he meant. He came out on his official social media accounts. It says, I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed run, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. And again, this is him kind of backtracking him. The aliens got to him, I say facetiously, as of course, now people are like, oh yeah, of course he's now coming back and walking back to those statements. As he said, statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good that there's life out there. But the distance between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. And I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us. Really? As people are saying, the eyes, Chico, they never lie. The eyes are telling. His body language was interesting there. He's a master orienter that is able to, he speaks from the same type of like cadence and the same type of conviction that a lot of top people in politics do. He's one of the best out there, right? Bill Clinton's another great orienter, great speaker, a great type of like personable person that like you like to listen to because they speak in specific type of rhythms and ways that are more captivating than the general public, right? Than the average person out there. And then there are specific schools that they're taught a lot of this stuff. A lot of people say it's from the same type of CIA school that they learn how to talk about this. Of course, the Obamas are centered around a lot of different conspiracies. This is a post that Barack Obama posted over the weekend when all of this was happening, talking about how he's celebrating Valentine's Day, and the comments are just like the comments would expect. Clown World says, two dudes living their best lives. Hodge twins, gay. Milo, if a person has ugly thoughts, it begins to show in their face. And when that person has ugly thoughts every day, every week, every year, the face gets uglier and uglier until you can hardly bear to look at it. And other people talking about Big Mike. And again, the internet is ablaze here, right? As he said some other interesting things about the interview, specifically slamming Gavin Newsom over the handling of the homelessness was also very interesting. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Now, a lot of people are responding to this by saying, I'm disappointed in Barack Obama with this so-called walk back. This is Stellar on Twitter saying, quote, "The distance are so vast for contact is an argument, but the facts in the air and the sea say otherwise. He should know better. I think he does." Yeah, he does. Now, the person who released this interview released his own take on this, and he's like, "I'm disappointed in the audience." He's like, "I hate conspiracy theories. Look how QAnon was bad." I think QAnon was a psyop that we never fell for. We got viciously attacked for being like, "Hey guys, we shouldn't be looking at we should actually be looking at evidence and not like alleged codes." As now there's circumstantial proof and evidence of people putting the pieces together saying there's a probability that the whole QAnon stuff was literally created by individuals like Steve Bannon, by the 4chan creator that Epstein had contact with, and Epstein himself, in order to obfuscate from what Epstein was doing himself. We'll talk about Epstein in just a little bit here. But this is Brian Tyler Cohen on his show describing the current situation.
Major update here. So on Saturday, I posted an almost hour-long interview with President Barack Obama. One clip in particular made international headlines and swept across the internet like nothing I've posted before. Our alien...
You know who's also into, we already played this clip. You know who's also really into aliens? The Podestas. Right? Big time alien guys. They're also the same guys, literally summoning demons through all of human liquids produced and writing them on walls to summon them in.
The way that I understood that answer was that he
The way you understood it, huh?
believes aliens are real.
Now you're walking it back with him. All right. The Obama PR team. What are you doing? Why are you doing? How dare you let this happen? Probably. You better walk this back now. Yes, sir. Yes, I will. Yes, I'm sorry. I should have asked him his favorite ice cream flavor. I'm so sorry. Don't cut my access. I promise to fluffer better. I'll be a better fluffer. Oh, please. I won't use teeth next time. I'm so sorry. It was an accidental toothache. I'm so sorry.
But that if he hasn't seen them, it's because they're not here. Hence the, unless there's a big conspiracy that even the President of the United States doesn't know about. It felt clear to me. It felt clear to the other people in the room. But apparently it was not clear to others because, dear God, did the criticism roll in. And so I decided to reach out to the president's team and ask if he'd be willing to make a clarification to his statement, which he did.
I would just read you that statement.
I won't lie. I've been a little bummed with the commentary, the discourse surrounding that issue. People saying,
"Bro, stop fluffering and ask them real questions to people in authority." That's why I'm disappointed, right? And then you go on like, "Oh, it's a conspiracy. It's all people are bad because they think bad things. They think government does bad things." Of course they do. Look at the Trump Epstein handling. People obviously do not trust government more than they ever have before. Now, this is not the first statement that Barack Obama made about aliens that caught a lot of people's attention. This is another one that the Good Trouble Show with Matt Ford decided to highlight and just released a video about themselves.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have...
He's thinking here very carefully. He's like, "Oh crap, what do I say so I don't get in trouble?"
an easily explainable pattern.
Yeah, that wasn't the only statement here. A few years back, this is Obama literally mentioning a UFO report to Congress.
And we finally released that huge report about aliens. Oh, sorry. I mean unidentified aerial phenomena. I think these are some pretty good reasons to vote, but I don't need...
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, vote. We released aliens." Oh, no. UAPs. Just UAPs. Huh? That's not an accidental slip. That was written in the script that he was supposed to read. Now, I think one of the most telling interviews was with Jimmy Kimmel. The two went at it, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is jokes." And granted, it could be jokes, and sometimes you take things too literally on the internet. And I get it. But he came out. He's like, "Oh yeah, the alien," and this goes along with what Tucker Carlson has been saying in a serious smash. Now again, this is a comedy show, but a lot of people always kind of assert that you got to tell the truth in jokes, or people will take you out. Right? There's always this kind of famous slogan: "You can't speak the truth unless you're just joking about it." That's why comedians are some of the most important people in our society. And whether you agree with them or disagree with them, I think they're able to kind of grease the wheels on conversations that are very taboo, that are very kind of like wild, but need to be talked about. Now, again, this is Obama a couple years ago, Jimmy Kimmel, talking about aliens.
If I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president,
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
the moment I was inaugurated, my hand would just, it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president.
Now, he's laughing, but members of Congress that got a lot of these classified briefings literally came out and said, I can't tell you. If I do, my career will be ruined. Other people said, yeah, I'm threatened not to release any of this information. If I do, I would be finished. I would be done. What does that mean? Why is there such a serious threat? I don't know.
That's the first thing that you would do.
It's at the
The
top of
aliens
my
won't
list.
let it happen.
The alien, and again, everyone's laughing. The aliens won't let it happen. Now, we talked to Catherine Austin Fitts, who's a government whistleblower, right? She was in the government under the Bush years. She came out. She was like, oh, yeah, I was offered a meeting with the aliens by the State Department. I said no. Tucker Carlson has come out and said there are interdimensional beings and aliens that the U.S. government works with and has relations with, and they make deals with. That's what Tucker Carlson said seriously when I had a conversation with him at the TP USA event when Charlie Kirk was still alive, with Charlie Kirk there. That was an important conversation that we had. I made sure, I was like, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about the interdimensional beings.
Reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know,
Now, again, people are like, ha, ha, ha. Could be a joke. Now, Barack Obama could be pulling everyone's legs. Is he? With the disclosures and the UAPs that are happening here? I mean, who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows?
no, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because
I can't reveal anything. And it looks like he's getting bothered here. All right, he's like, yeah, I look like you such a shit on you. And then Jimmy Kimmel was like, oh no. I can't reveal because Jimmy keeps pushing. And clearly Barack Obama's getting a little uncomfortable.
President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
All right.
Is that what they're actually, or is he joking? I don't know. But we got to understand here, there's been a lot of these questions that are popping up more and more than ever. There's even major movies that are going to be coming out surrounding this. Obama is now getting more involved in the movie entertainment industry. But let's not forget, a lot of people are like, greatest president ever. I had someone on Instagram recently. It was like, Obama's not in the Epstein stuff. Well, his top lawyer is. And I think it's worth talking about. And there's also a lot of weird stuff, especially that came out in the WikiLeaks emails with Obama using taxpayer funds to fly in tens of thousands of dollars worth of pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. Some people are saying this is coded language. Some people are saying, no, it's actually how much it costs to secure and procreate all this stuff with the staff here. Now, a lot of people are saying that's an exorbitant amount of tax dollars that you're spending there on an order. But again, it could be an extraordinary type of situation. People are still saying, hey, it's kind of weird because a lot of people are looking at the kind of alleged coded language in the Epstein files, and they're saying, well, the WikiLeaks emails with the Democrats also exposed alleged coded language, and they find this one the most kind of weirdest one here. Now, again, Obama, so much controversies surrounding him. Now, there are in these Epstein files, elites that were, quote, according to Mario Nafal, straight up psychoanalyzing Obama in Epstein's orbit. Ehud Barak and Larry Summers dished an Obama self-image during his campaign, nicknamed Black Jesus by his inner circle, seeing himself as a aloof, non-needy, and destined for greatness like Washington, Lincoln, FDR, JFK, and Reagan. They tie it to his Iran approach. Started a visionary peace with Iran, Middle East harmony, got a Nobel Peace Prize early after he bombed a bunch of places. Listen, Trump's bombing a bunch of places too, but shifted defensives to avoid a nuclear stain on his, quote, legacy. It looks like there's even audio from the
Yeah, and he has this their nickname for him during the campaign was Black Jesus.
Is that right?
Yep, and then you can listen to the whole 6-minute audio. The email then goes off, talks about his lone wolf vibe, eating a lunch alone, schedules solo time, golfs only with his tight Chicago crew instead of smooching Congress and donors, and, quote, no need for constant validation like Clinton, according to them here. Now, Ehud Barak and Larry Summer were gossiping about his inner circle, who he really trusts. They were name-dropping a lot of people like Valerie Jarrett, Samantha Powers, and he compares it to Nixon, listening to his buddy Beppe Rebozo. As, of course, this is kind of very interesting chatter here from elites here. As, of course, so far, Barack Obama had not been named, but his chief legal counsel at the time has been. As now we're getting Catherine Rummler, who just resigned as the top legal chief at Goldman Sachs. She was speaking through spokespersons, trying to clear up her involvement with Epstein, as the emails kind of depict a very kind of like brash, but very type of straightforward, weird, very honest conversation between Catherine and Epstein. As soon as Epstein got arrested the second time, first person he called, Catherine. Why? That's interesting. We should know. But in 2017, Catherine,
I had a team that did vetting.
Just like Barack Obama, are criticizing Trump for his lack of candor and how he has debased and has no respect for the office. This is what she had to say in 2017, as it looks like she played a big role in Epstein's life. The role is still getting delved out here. It's still getting kind of figured out here. We still don't have any kind of like public comments other than her spokesperson speaking through her, doing her best PR jujitsu to obfuscate any type of responsibility. A Zero Hedge now kind of is connecting the dots here on a biggest scandal that happened 13 years ago. If you remember, the Secret Service in Colombia got caught with workers of the night. As now people are saying, well, what happened there? What actually happened there? Was it Secret Service, or was it Secret Service procuring something else for other people part of the administration? That's an important one to look at here. But this is Catherine here talking about her stay at Barack Obama's office.
I had a team that did vetting and ethics. So our office was responsible for vetting every cabinet member. So, and we had, in our administration, we had quite rigorous standards. And so it would be a big failure if someone turned out to have, not not filed their tax returns appropriately, or, something like that.
Or tied to a convicted predator that was still out there running loose, hurting children. John McCain's wife came out and was like, everyone in D.C. knew. Everyone was afraid. Everyone knew he was hurting children. And the person doing the vetting for Obama was the person connected to some of the more sinister criminal elements here of the dark secret cabals out there.
A big issue that would come up would be with household help and people not paying taxes on either a nanny or a housekeeper or something like that, or landscaping people, that type of thing. I'm really disheartened by what I think is sort of the devaluing of the office.
Oh yeah, high and mighty there. I'm your that other guy, he keeps bad company. You're buddy with Epstein.
In some ways, almost a debasing of the office of the president, which is something that I revered as White House counsel, and really felt a personal responsibility to sort of protect the this sort of sacrosanctness of it. Not in a
So sacrament. Yeah. Clinton literally had Epstein going in and out of the White House all the time. The middleman met a very interesting end on that endeavor.
in a religious sense, but just in the sense that it's such an important office, and the dignity of it, the dignity and the decency, I would say. So from that perspective,
There was literally male workers of the night being snuck into the White House of George W. Bush's presidency. All right, get out of here. Get out of here.
become, I guess, more partisan, at least in my own thinking about it.
Get out of here with clutching your pearls. As now, people are saying that the Rothschild family, according to one of the emails here, Sagar Injeti is reporting on this, saying that there was a $25 million fee that allowed them to help negotiate a $45 million 2015 settlement with the Department of Justice to resolve a tax assessment that the Rothschilds own. And Epstein brokered that deal. Now we're finding out that it was allegedly Kathy Rumler that brokered this deal when he was already a registered offender. As people are saying, how close was the Obama administration to all of this? Those questions still kind of unknown here. As listen, there's a lot of top powerful people always caught with like workers of the night. We told you Bush, Clinton has his own track record here. Listen, now The Guardian, 13 years ago. I remember reporting on this 13 years ago. Being like, this is weird. Something else is going on here. Super sketchy. It was a major scandal. As this was the official story, U.S. Secret Service scandal overshadows Obama trip. 11 agents sent home from Summit of the Americas in Colombia as they were allegedly caught hiring workers of the night. Speaking for the first time about the scandal, Obama said agents represent the United States and are supposed to conduct themselves with the highest level of dignity. And they got caught, right? They took workers of the night back to their hotel in Cartagena, right? 11 agents were sent home. Now, were the agents doing this on their own personal leave, or were they doing this for other people within the administration? As there were some serious questions and allegations there about these people involved here. Of course, a lot of them were held responsible for it, as now Zero Hedge is saying. So, quote, who did order the Colombian workers of the night? Turns out it was a 25-year-old presidential advance team member, Jonathan Dash, who was staying at room 513 at the Cartagena Hotel. Dash was a nobody, but Dash's father, Leslie, a huge financial backer of Obama, wasn't. As now Zero Hedge is accusing Rumler and Obama of covering up this scandal, instead blaming the Secret Service. 10 members lost their job on this scandal, when they're saying, no, it was people connected to Obama that were doing this. Now, again, there's also weird things about Obama's chef that also are very weird, meeting a very interesting end and demise here. Lots of people talking about how Obama could be, playing on both teams, whatever that means. Again, now Chuck Grassley writes in 2014, Obama administration knew White House involvement in Secret Service ladies of the night scandal. Now, this is big here, right? Especially if it turns out that this was something else than, of course, it was purported to be. And there's a lot of these particular cases, especially with things like Operation Fast and Furious under Obama's administration, where the ATF literally just took thousands of weapons, gave it to the cartels in a way to stop the cartels from having weapons. That worked out well, especially when a Border Patrol agent got his life taken away by those same weapons. What the hell's going on here? Zero Hedge writes, the Obama administration's Ladies of the Night scandal and the Rumler-Epstein connection. Epstein plus Obama's advanced team member, Jonathan Dash, caught with a lady of the night in Cartagena hotel room, plus Obama's then top lawyer, Rumler, attempted cover-up, which cost her the Obama Attorney General job. Rumler just quit her $25 million a year job at Goldman Sachs last week. Rumler covered up the ladies of the night scandal. This is what Zero Hedge writes, and instead blamed the Secret Service on this action. So who did order the Colombian workers of the night? Quote, turns out it was a 25-year-old Jonathan Dash who was staying at the room connected to one of the financiers. Next, there was the cover-up orchestrated by Rumler and Jay Carney to avoid implicating Dash and his dad while throwing the Secret Service under the bus. As an aside, Dash's ladies of the night had seemingly impeccable Instagram taste. The woman had posted photos of herself in undergarments in front of the Summit of the Americas. Signs in Cartagena at the time of the trip. At that point, the cover-up of Dash's alleged ladies of the night scandal only got bigger and included Charles Edwards, the acting inspector general, and then Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano. The article here then continues. Okay, fine. Some kid hires a worker of the night. Obama throws 10 Secret Service agents under the bus to protect one of his top financial backers. Happens all the time. Only there's a twist. In her cover-up, Kathy Rumler brought on none other than Jeffrey Epstein. Here's an email chain between Rumler and Epstein from October 17th, 2014, when Rumler was still hoping to replace Eric Holders as Obama's next attorney general. She lost to Loretta Lynch a week or so later after the S scandal blew up on October 8th, drafting her response to exonerate Dash and avoid the appearance of a, quote, cover-up. And here's Rumler sharing some of more thoughts with Epstein over her cover-up letter on October 17, 2014. Needless to say, this matter is strictly confidential and was, at the moment, the biggest scandal rocking the Obama White House. People are like, no, Obama wore a tan suit. That's the biggest scandal. I'm like, no, it's not. Stop it. He wore a tan suit. I don't care. As there is interesting email exchanges here, what really happened here. I think it's all kind of worth looking into here, right? And the kind of scandal gets more detailed and continues to go on here as true. Here's one of the ladies of the night here that was photographed here. This is International Business Times. Secret Service workers of the night scandal in Colombia. Obama's safety threatened by officers' reckless, quote, behavior. Really? Is that really what happened here? Great reporting by Zero Hedge here. There's also another dude named Cash everywhere in the files. It was probably Cash Sunstein. He was a big time. He was Obama's disinformation czar. Big time player when it came to setting up the censorship industrial complex here. Now, it was also interesting to see Barack Obama hit at Gavin Newsom in this speech. He also talked about how there's so much racial division and division caused by Trump. And again, we got to understand here, the Obamas have moved towards producing movies. One of their movies, and I remember watching this. It was a movie that they created. And again, you just see this everywhere. White people are always depicted as evil, horrible, just awful people. Black people are the rational, sane saviors and the heroes. As Obama has opened up his own kind of cinema production company. Sorry, English is my second language here. As he's talking about how the other side is so mean, angry, exclusive, it's divisive politics. Bro, you push a lot of this stuff in your propaganda.
That he's a Netflix producer, along with his 8-adult wife, Michelle. He's producing more racial division. The latest is called Leave the World Behind. It's a fictional thriller about the collapse of technology and what humans would do with no phones or computers. The movie follows a family on vacation at a rental house, and one night they're visited by a father and a daughter who show up seeking shelter. They say their phones no longer work and they need a place to stay. So immediately the white family, because they're evil, that's encoded in their DNA, of course, is suspicious of the visitors because they're black. And it goes on and on and on like this. Here's a clip.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Can't trust white.
Yeah. White people are bad. It's like, where have I heard that? Every single propaganda Almost every single Hollywood movie, TV show, commercial, an advertisement out there.
People. They're evil. This is the guy, remember, who became famous at the Democratic Convention in 2004 by telling us there is no white America, there's no black America. It's just
Occupy Wall Street happened during his term, and then we saw the media all pivot and focus on race divisive politics during his administration, and they did a very successful job at it. That bred the BLM riots that were created, lowering racial tensions to its lowest point in recent history.
one America. But of course, that's not really a profit model in politics, is it? So he's been stoking race hatred ever since, and the disarray around us is the result.
Tucker's not wrong. What do you think Obama really knows about aliens? How do you think he was involved with this Epstein stuff, if he even was involved? Let me know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys checking out, buying the supplements, supporting independent media, because you do. That's why I am still here. We are Change.shop. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/LukeRadowski76.